Namaste. Welcome, beautiful souls. Welcome back to this breathing series that was requested by several members. And I'm broadcasting both on my tarot channel as well as my yoga channel, which is very, very small. And eventually I will likely transition this program exclusively to my yoga channel. But for a few more weeks, I'll continue to broadcast in both locations, just so you know. We began this journey with some really basic concepts. And I want to continue to build on the awareness of breath in different parts of the body. And today we're going to lie down and we're going to expand and begin to focus on full abdominal breathing, which is a real challenge for a lot of people. So again, let's go through the steps and just really start to reinforce these concepts in your physical body. It's important that you feel the breath in your, not the breath, of course the breath, but it's also important that you start to integrate the setup for breath in your body. Good morning, Clevis. So, where should we begin? Well, I'm Sadhana. If you don't know me, if you're just popping in here, yoga teacher trainer, lover of all things energetic. And this is just my privilege to share these practices with you. So welcome. And if you ever have any questions, please make sure to come back and leave comments below later. The alignment is really important, and I will continue to describe the alignment both in a seated posture as well as in a supine position. And if you are in a bed that is rather soft, it is really difficult to get good alignment in bed if your bed is soft. So just be aware of that. Ideally, you want to be doing breathing practices either seated or on a yoga mat or maybe a sofa that's a little firmer, okay? Seated. Any seated posture. In a chair is fine. On the edge of your sofa, come forward just a little bit because you want to be aware of the spatial awareness between your shoulders and your hips. So lean forward just a little bit. Lean back beyond where the hips are. And notice the response to your abdominal strength as you lean back and you lean forward. It's crazy how all of the systems of the body need to work together for healthy breath. So shoulders over pelvis. Shoulder girdle over pelvic girdle. Okay, very important relationship. With the next inhale breath, draw your shoulders up towards your ears. And as you exhale, circle them back and then down. And just do that a few times. Circling the shoulders, inhale and exhale. When this next exhale is complete, go the other way. This might feel really awkward. Drawing the shoulders forward, inhale and exhale. And release. Inhale out to the side. And exhale, fingertips here. Sorry, when I'm broadcasting from this room, I'm not hardwired, so sometimes the video is a little laggy. Gently rest your fingertips on your shoulders. We're going to go back first. So elbows back. Inhale. And exhale. Your elbows may or may not touch at the front. I'm kind of wearing a tight shirt today, so a little less restriction. Inhale. And exhale. Tight in the shoulders anyway. Close your eyes and observe what's happening in the shoulders. Is one shoulder doing more work than the other? What can you do to even out the workload of the shoulders? Finish this next exhale and then go forward with the inhale breath. Open the chest. Feel the shoulder blades come together. You might hear some clicking in the body. That's perfectly normal. So the length of your breath will indicate the size of the rotation or the speed of the rotation. Your mobility will indicate the size of the rotation. One more. Okay, rest your hands on your lap, palms either facing up or down. Shoulders over hips. Then bring awareness to the chin. So always checking in with where the chin is with your eyes closed. Feel your back alignment. So your spine up through your neck. You want the neck to be an extension of your spine. So move your chin a little side to side, up and down, so you feel length through the neck. Length through the backs of the ears. And then come to gentle breath in the nose. Ideally, your mouth is closed. And then begin to lengthen the breath in the nose, drawing the breath up towards the eyebrow center. Exhale. Gently inhaling and exhaling, breath awareness in the nose with the mouth closed. And if that causes stress, then leave the mouth gently open. And you want to be focusing on that inverted V shape. So you're drawing the breath from the nostrils all the way up to the eyebrow center and exhaling simultaneously out both sides. And naturally one side will have more flow than the other. Trace that inverted V shape up and down. And this will become more and more important as we get into alternate nostril breathing, and then we'll do a full body breath as well too with this shape. Okay, so that's the nose. Then come to the throat. You may need a fingertip on your Adam's apple on your throat. Be aware of the breath in the throat. And when I'm focusing on the breath in the throat, my mouth, my jaw is soft. I have space, almost as if how would I describe it? It's like the cavity of my breath becomes bigger so that I can draw awareness to the throat. The Vishuddhi chakra, the throat chakra, is a cooling chakra. So visualize cool, swirling air in your throat. Good morning, Perry. And so there is this simultaneous awareness, because obviously you still have breath moving through your nose, but the focus comes to the throat. And there are reasons why we need to learn to focus the breath in different parts of the body for different exercises that will enhance and heal certain things. So if this is a little challenging, it's just a matter of practice. And then release your hand. And like we did last week, find a central place, center of your chest. Be aware of the expansion of the rib cage with the inhale breath and the contraction with the exhale breath. If your shoulders have looped forward, bring your shoulders back, open your chest. Focus on the breath in the chest. The bones of the rib cage and the intercostal muscles between the bones expand with the inhale breath in all directions. And then they soften and contract with the exhale breath. Now take your focus to the back rib cage, the back body. If you have the mobility or you have a pillow or something behind you, you might just want to touch your back. You could also touch your side rib cage. Bring awareness to the breath in the back body. So close your eyes and feel the expansion of the back rib cage as you breathe in, and the softening of the back rib cage as you exhale. And for most people, it's the back rib cage that is the least mobile. So if we just focus here, just know that you're breathing in all directions, but we're drawing the attention to the back body, the place where we store grief, loss, all that stuff, sticky stuff we want to put underneath the carpet. And as you're focusing on the breath in the chest, just be curious about the path of the breath, in through the nose, through the throat, into the chest, the expansion of the rib cage. As you soften, just observe what happens to the breath. So if you focus on the rib cage expanding and contracting, then the likelihood of your shoulders going up and down as you breathe is less, because you don't want your shoulders involved in breath. Your shoulders are soft, your chest is open. Check your alignment, shoulders over pelvis, elongation through the neck. And you may be aware of the dominant nostril at this time. And now I'll speak a little bit to that today, just while you're focusing on your breath. Keep breathing, back body, back rib cage. So last week I had you put a fist under one armpit to help with clearing the opposite nostril. Well, throughout the course of the day, the dominance of the left and right breathing shifts, and that will vary with each of us. Could be a 4-hour window, could be a little more or less. And this level of energetic awareness in the body can help us to make decisions about activity. So when the left channel is dominant, this is a good time for meditation. It's a good time for relaxation of any kind. It's a good time to go to sleep. So when you lie down at night and you are not left side dominant, it may take a lot longer to go to sleep. It is not a good time to have a big meal. You want to be right side dominant when you have a big meal, fiery side dominant. It's a fascinating aspect of yoga called Swara Yoga, S-W-A-R-A. Okay, so go ahead and open your eyes and you can place actually one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. And this can be any part of your belly. Over your navel center, it could be a little higher. And just observe before I give you any instructions. Just observe the movement of your hands as you breathe in and breathe out. That's likely easier with your eyes closed. So the note you want to make in your journal or in your mind for now is the hand over my belly moving when I breathe in and when I breathe out. And the less movement there is in the hand that is on the belly, the more focus and the more work there is to do. And we will get there. Soften your tongue. You'll hear me say this over and over. So soften the tongue in your mouth. You want to have a soft jaw, the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Go through the alignment cues. Okay, now I'm going to continue to talk as you just carry on with what you're doing. Now, underneath the two lungs is let's call it a sheath. It's called the diaphragm. And this barrier, this sheath, moves with the breath. When we are working with healing energy, with the chakras, it's like a magical barrier that is between the awakening of the heart chakra and whatever's going on in the solar plexus chakra. It's a really important transition. So one of the things that I want you to know is that the belly breathing really does help with any issues related to solar plexus chakra. Anything to do with self-identity. Who am I? Why am I? My issues over power, control, trust. So this is, it's really important for general wellness to learn to breathe fully. As you breathe in, that the diaphragm will, as the lungs expand, the diaphragm is pressed down. And as you exhale, the diaphragm relaxes because it returns to its natural position as the lungs become smaller. And the anatomical bit of this can really help with understanding what's supposed to happen when you breathe fully, okay, with deep awareness. So what you are observing in your hand on your belly is the effect of the diaphragm being pressed down through the fullness of the lungs. So if you do still have a hand on your chest, take both hands to your belly. And if you have any sort of notion of, I need to be sucking in my belly and I want to have awareness of tight abdominal core, that kind of stuff, just let that go for now. Do your best to soften your abdominal muscles. Let your belly hang out. Nice, soft Buddha belly. And the more you can focus on softness in your belly, the easier this will be. And you may feel not just a rising of the belly with the inhale breath, but a real expansion with the inhale breath. Okay, so here's how the awareness goes. As you breathe in, the lungs fill up, the diaphragm goes down, the belly expands. As you exhale, everything is in reverse. So the belly moves towards the spine, the diaphragm neutralizes, the lungs get a little smaller, and the breath leaves the body. So let's simplify that. As you breathe in, the belly rises. And as you breathe out, the belly relaxes. And if you don't feel movement here, don't get frustrated. Just know that it just is going to take a little bit of practice. And then really sort of let the abdominal core go. And as you breathe in, see if you can really get a lot of movement in the hand there. Inhale, the belly rises. Exhale, it softens. It is very difficult to observe the whole process of breath, so it's best just to focus on one bit. And this is the bit I want you to focus on this week, is the rise of the belly with the inhale and the softness of the belly with the exhale. Now, do you remember I said the throat chakra is cooling? Well, this place is warming. Manipura chakra is warming. So focus on the warmth of your belly as you observe the rise and the softening of the abdominal area. Be fully aware of warmth. Warmth in the belly. And as you continue to focus here, allow the sensation of warmth to expand. And if you are feeling cold, this is a great trick to warm the body, is to take your awareness here and to focus on belly breathing. And of course the other is true as well too. If you're feeling hot, you can focus on the coolness in the throat. Yoga is a very amazing bag of tricks to have, believe me. Okay. Now I want to take this to a supine position just so I can guide you through practicing either on a mat or sofa or a bed. So we're going to transition to lying down. And if you're not able to do that, then you can just listen to the instructions and come back and mark this point in the video. Okay. And I'm going to go through the full body alignment on the floor. Why do I have a bolster underneath my legs? Well, that has to do with the pelvic alignment. And when I come down onto the floor, there's two things I want to align, just like when I was sitting. And one is my pelvic tilt. And even when we lie down, we tend to, most people don't correct this alignment. You want to have a bit of length in your low back. So what you do is you raise your hips up off the floor, and you shift your pelvis forward. And you can actually do a little bit of cat-cow here if you know what that means, playing with the pelvis. And by shifting your pelvis forward, you lengthen the low back, and then you come back down, and then you can go ahead and extend your legs. And if you have something underneath your knees, this will also help to keep the pelvis in alignment. Okay, and notice my legs they're not glued together. They are apart. My ankles are soft, my feet are soft. If you're holding your legs together, you're holding tension in your legs, right? So you want to keep your legs apart. Ankles soft, feet soft. And if that feels very vulnerable, then, cover up, put a blanket on you. It's always good to be covered up when you're doing these practices. Body temperature will drop when you're doing breath work and meditation. Backs of the arms, backs of the upper arms. I'm pressing into the floor and just gently walking the shoulder blades together. Nothing crazy, but just enough so I feel like I'm open in my chest. And then I can relax my arms to the floor. Now, some people, when they do this, it's a very very uncomfortable. So you might have to put little pillows or blankets underneath your forearms so you can do this. And then notice a degree of tension in your hands. Are you in a tight fist? Are your fingers relaxed? Okay, so in this position, as you inhale, clench your hands and bring tension into your feet. And as you exhale, soften. And just notice what happens. Inhale, create tension in your body as much as you feel comfortable. Exhale, relax. Let go. Do that a couple more times. This might involve really tightening up your legs, even your face, your arms, your shoulders. When you're ready to breathe out, exhale, soften. And this sort of tension and relaxation is really good for getting you into the space for this kind of practices. Okay, so in this position, let's go through really quickly each of the stages. So first of all, the nose. If you need to observe your neck, make sure your neck is in alignment. So if you put a pillow under your head and you're like this, your pillow's too high. And for some people, head on the floor just doesn't work, so you need a small blanket or pillow underneath your head. Your neck needs to be in alignment. So breathing in the nose. Feels very different on the floor, drawing the breath up to the third eye. Notice how gravity deepens the awareness perhaps into your lymphatic tissue, into your glands, your jaw, and then shift awareness into the throat. By creating softness in your mouth, there's sort of an oceanic quality to the breath in the throat when you focus there. And then go to the center of the chest. Observe the breath in the chest. Check in with the back breathing. Feel the expansion of the rib cage in the back with the inhale. And then hands on the belly. And for some people, this is not attainable. So again, you need to set yourself up so that you can do this. So you might need something underneath your elbows so that you can keep your hands on your belly. And sometimes, if you're practicing this in bed, this is a great position to fall asleep, and I'll show you some other things you can do with your hands here, but it's a really good idea to have your elbows supported. Now take complete awareness to your abdomen. And be aware of the diaphragm. When you breathe in, the diaphragm expands, the belly rises. As you exhale, the belly moves towards the spine, it softens. The diaphragm neutralizes and the breath leaves the body. So just observe the rise and the fall of the belly with the inhale and the exhale. If your mind wanders, you can begin a counting practice. So let's pick the number 11. Okay, and we're going to count backwards. Inhale, observe the rise, 11. Exhale, 11. Inhale, 10. Exhale, 10. Keep going, counting backwards. Ideally, the mouth is closed and you're not talking. Full awareness of breath in the belly. Counting backwards. And if the count is lost or you get to 0, start over at 11. And then release the counting and begin to focus again on warmth. See if you can bring the sensation of warmth to the awareness of the breathing in the belly. And then allow warmth to expand over your torso, maybe to your arms, shoulders, pelvis, legs. Expand the sensation of warmth as you focus on the breath here. Now this is not without consequences. We are breathing over, through, among many digestive organs. And when we start to take breath awareness into the belly, this can affect your digestion. And if you are constipated, it can certainly help to relieve that. It's like adding fire to your belly. So If you notice any change in your bowel movement later today or tomorrow, just remember that you were practicing belly breathing. And so this is good for you. This is good. If you're still focusing on warmth, just let that go. And be aware of the whole body. The whole body. Just observing the expansion of energy. Just with a few minutes of awareness of breath. This is like bringing some sun to your day. It's quite magical. And then go ahead, release your hands. And I'm going to transition back up to seated posture. So if you are lying down, your legs are extended. Bring the soles of the feet to the floor. And walk your feet together and gently roll to a side. You might want to stay on your side for a breath or two in a fetal position. And then when you feel ready, come up. And just observe the effects of the practice. This is a practice. This is going to change the way you feel. So give yourself a moment just to observe any shifts in frequency in your body. Go through the alignment cues. Find some sweet breath in the nose. And guide your hands into heart center. This universal gesture of greeting, of gratitude, of peace. Feel the softness in your hands. Breathe into your thumbs, breathe into your hands. Can you feel your chest against your hands? Part your hands just a little bit. Can you feel the energy between your hands? Bring your hands together. And in closing, just bring to mind something that you feel grateful for in this moment. And just name that with your whole heart. And then pressing your hands together, guide your thumbs to your lips for truth, to your forehead for insight, and raise your arms above your head for guidance. And then let all of that go. Thank you. Okay. So I'll see you in a week's time, and we'll continue to develop this practice very slowly. And I really encourage you to take time to go through these practices, especially if this is very, very new to you. Yeah. And again, if you have any questions or concerns, please be sure to leave a message below. Okay? Thanks very much. Namaste.